What's up, guys? Thank you for clicking on the video. My name is Jonathan, and today I'm going to be talking about why I'm not rich yet, why you're not rich yet, why we're not able to achieve the things that we're aspiring to achieve in life. I'd imagine that a lot of you guys on my channel today are trying to be profitable traders, right? Consistently profitable traders. That's the title that everyone is aspiring for, right? Some people want to be funded, some people, you know, everyone essentially is aspiring for something. Well, not everyone. Some people are just like, couch potatoes. They don't want to aspire for things in life. And, that's up to them. But a lot of us, I believe, are aspiring for things in life. And sometimes we hit a plateau. We learn pretty quickly that things are not as easy as they are preached to be in like these motivational videos, these instructional videos, books, whatever it may be, right? So today, I essentially want to be talking about why it's so hard for us to become more than what we currently are. And not only that, I actually want to also talk about how to get to the places we're trying to get to in life the right way. I want to kick off this video with a little bit of a story. So, during my journey of entrepreneurship, or rather the beginning of my journey to entrepreneurship, I watched a lot of podcasts. I still do to this day. I read a lot of books. I looked at a lot of interviews, listened to a lot of audiobooks, read physical books. But essentially, I was kind of gathering up the knowledge and kind of like the vibe of people that have more money, people that live in abundance, people that are wealthy, that have the things that I aspire to have in life. One of the first things I picked up on is that these people that are living in abundance, that are able to achieve the things that we are aspiring to achieve, they all have like a different kind of like vibe to them. They all kind of think in abundance. They all kind of think in a forward thinking way. They have a certain vibe to them. I say all that to say this. The mistake that I made very early in my journey, and I'm glad that I kind of realized this. Maybe I didn't realize it as early as I would like to, but I did realize this eventually, thank God, is that it's not the fact that they are rich that makes them believe the things they believe. Think the way they think in abundance, think in a growth mindset, having faith and total confidence in themselves in every situation to do the best thing that they can do, to be the best people they can be, and to continue to succeed in their life. They didn't achieve this mindset by first becoming rich. The reality is they thought the way that they thought before they even achieved these things. So the money and the things that they have are essentially a byproduct of the beliefs and ideas that they developed in that time when they weren't where they wanted to be. And that essentially is why a lot of us aren't rich, right? Because we kind of do this, right? We start by doing the things that they do. And when I say they, I mean the people that are in the position of where we aspire to be. We start trying to do the things that they do via, motivation or even discipline. And by doing these things, right, with the fuel of motivation and discipline, we believe that we should therefore have those things. We mean everything, guys: the money, houses, the wife or husband, fame, if you're into that, all these things that we aspire to have. We think that this is the natural progression and that this is all there is to it, right? You do, and then you have. And to an extent, this is true, guys. But the problem with this, and the reason that you won't get to where you want to get to by simply doing this and following this model alone, is because your actions that you will be taking will not be true in real actions that should lead to the have. Why? Because you're missing out something that comes before the do. So before you can do, just like the rich people had to believe before they became rich, you have to be before you can do. And by doing, then you will have. But it starts with being. But the reason you're not rich yet is because you're not a rich person. The reason you're not profitable yet is because you're not a profitable person. The reason you're undisciplined is because you're not a disciplined person. It's not your identity. When I say you don't have the identity of someone that has those things, your systems and beliefs that you have in your mind, subconsciously or consciously, are not aligned or congruent with the type of person that will do the things that you're trying to do, and then as a byproduct, possess the objects and different things that will come from doing those actions. So why is an undisciplined person undisciplined? Because they're an undisciplined person. But to go deeper than that, their beliefs instill the action of being undisciplined. And rather, I don't even want to just say undisciplined. I'd say that they are disciplined because there's two sides to everything. You cannot be without discipline. You're just disciplined at being undisciplined. That's the problem. The good news is you have the ability to be disciplined. The bad news is you're disciplined about the wrong thing. You're disciplined about being undisciplined. We can become someone who's disciplined we can become someone that's disciplined about being disciplined, right? So your identity leads to your actions, which leads to your possessions. So how do I become? How do I change my identity? How do I change my identity? This is why most people fail at what they're doing. This is why most people can't become profitable traders. This is why most people can't run a business, because changing your identity is not an easy thing, but it's possible, guys. And let me show you your identity. I'll say it like this: actions plus beliefs equal your identity. So your identity is constructed from your beliefs and your actions, right? It's better if I kind of put it like this. Here are your actions and here are your beliefs. And they kind of just go in a cycle. And this is why it's so hard to change your identity, because you're essentially trying to fight against a river that's been flowing and flowing and flowing for who knows how long. And you're trying to change the direction that the river flows. Now it's possible, but it's super hard. But your actions and your beliefs form this river that cycles, right? Your beliefs dictate your actions, and your actions reinforce your beliefs. That dictates your actions, that reinforces your beliefs. And it's a cycle, and it cycles and cycles. And then this cycle is essentially what builds your identity. For example, let's take being disciplined at being undisciplined. Subconsciously, for whatever reason, you believe that being undisciplined is better for you than being disciplined. Your beliefs is that it's good, or basically, let me change my marker because the green marker is dying. Your beliefs is that undisciplined, and I'll just put the 3 letters, equals good. That's your subconscious belief. And it's an oversimplification, but I got to put it like this because the mind is intricate, guys, and I can't break it down. But essentially, you believe that being undisciplined is a good thing. It's beneficial. Our brain was not created for thriving. It was created for surviving. So if it sees something that proves to be beneficial for you in the short term, a lot of the time, not really the long term, but because your brain, its job is to help you survive in the short term, right? Taking everything step by step. So if it sees that it's beneficial in the short term, i.e. not getting up to do the work you're supposed to do because you're tired, and it sees that, oh, I'm tired, I'm gonna let myself rest. Oh, this was beneficial, I was able to rest, but in the long term, you messed up everything you were trying to do. Your brain still sees that as a good thing, right? So, and subconsciously, you build that up by reinforcing it. So just like I said, you didn't get up to do your work. So your action was you stayed in bed, right? You stayed in bed. And by staying in bed, you then reinforce the belief that being undisciplined is good. So your brain takes the action of you staying in bed and then documents that in the files of your brain as a good thing, as a beneficial thing for you. And by doing that, scary enough, it'll make the feeling of wanting to stay in bed stronger the next time. So belief in actions, it's an accumulation. It happens over time. Many times of repeating the same actions and then reinforcing those beliefs from those actions. And it's just reinforcing and accumulating. That's why there are certain things for some people that are just so hard to break. This is why addictions are created, because you did an action and then it reinforced a belief, or you had a belief and then you reinforced it with your actions and you did it over and over again. So now your brain, it attaches that thing that you don't want to do to your identity. There's a difference between two people who are both trying to quit smoking. When they're both offered a cigarette, one person says, oh, I don't want that cigarette, I'm not a smoker. And the other person says, I don't want that cigarette, I'm trying not to smoke. The second person adopts smoking as their identity. So when they say, I'm trying not to smoke, that in itself, the words, it shows that their belief is there's someone that does smoke, because they have to put forth effort to not smoke. Opposed to the first one who says, I'm not a smoker, that's not their identity. But I go back to identity. So how do you change your identity, guys? Well, it goes without saying. You have to change your beliefs and you have to change your actions. In the self-development space, we talk a lot about limiting beliefs, right? Beliefs that hold you down, beliefs that you hold dear to yourself subconsciously that are not aiding you on your journey to becoming a better individual. At first, when I heard this, I was like, no, there's no way there are thoughts in my mind that are holding me back. But the more you think about it, the more it makes sense. Because if you had the beliefs of someone that was a millionaire, you would be a millionaire, but you're not. Meaning that the beliefs that you have are not congruent enough with a millionaire to become one. Automatically, you should assume and know that you need to change your identity. There are beliefs in your mind that are not congruent with being a millionaire. Otherwise, you would have already been so, right? The Bible talks about sow and you shall reap. This is a universal law, guys. You sow, you will reap. When it rains, then the ground can give forth fruit, can give forth plants. But the earth doesn't have a choice in this matter. It just does, because that's the law. That's what God created the law to be. And I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ died for my sins. If you don't believe that, then I still love you, my brother and my sister, but that's what I believe in. And that's what I believe to be truth. So there's no choice. You can only be who you are. A tree doesn't hustle and grind to push forth fruit. It just is a tree, and it gives fruit, it gives apples, it gives orange, right? But that's its nature, right? So these millionaires that have a lot of money, the reason they have a lot of money and the reason they're rich is because it's their nature. And how did it become their nature? It's because they audited their beliefs and changed their beliefs to be congruent with one who has the identity of someone that does the things that a millionaire does, and as a result, has the things that a millionaire has. But it all comes down to your identity, right? It all comes down to your identity, your beliefs, and your actions, right? If you change your beliefs, right, from being undisciplined is good to being disciplined is good, right? It's not enough to just say that in your mind, right? Oh, I believe that, like affirmations. Affirmations work, but affirmations are powerless without action that are congruent with those affirmations. Otherwise, in yourself, you'll know that you're just BSing. You don't really believe it because your actions don't show it. Beliefs alone aren't enough to change your identity. You have to have actions that prove that you believe what you believe, right? You ever look at millionaires and they're so self-confident, and you can almost, some people see it as arrogance, but they're self-confidence and they have this level of trust in themselves that they can get anything done that's in front of them and that no problem is bigger than them. Do you know where that comes from? That comes from having beliefs and then having actions that prove those beliefs, so that in themselves they have evidence that this is who I am because look at what I do. I'm a disciplined individual because I make my bed. I'm a disciplined individual because I get up every day at 5 a.m. and I go on a 2-mile jog. I'm a disciplined individual because I go to work and I put my all into work every single time that I'm there. I'm a disciplined individual because I work when no one sees me. I'm a disciplined individual because I read the books that I need to read. I'm a disciplined individual because I go to school when I'm supposed to go to school. I do my homework when I'm supposed to do my homework. I study when I'm supposed to study. That's why I'm a disciplined individual. They've built evidence, they've accumulated evidence within their self. That evidence is your identity. Because once you see yourself as a millionaire in your mind, in your heart, then you can't help but flow. Just like a tree gives fruit because it's a tree, you can't help but make the millions because you have the mindset of one who makes millions. Because you'll do the things that are congruent with the identity of someone that makes millions. And then as a result, you'll have those millions. Be, do, have. Don't start with the do. Start with the be. So you got to be honest with yourself, guys. Be honest. Don't lie to yourself. I used to have a problem where I used to justify, when I don't do the thing I'm supposed to be doing, and I would try and justify it, and don't do it. That's weak, and it's a coping mechanism, and you won't get to where you're trying to get to if you just let yourself cope with these type of things. You got to really audit yourself, guys. Internally, this is something that only you can do. It can only be you that audits your beliefs, audits your actions that are congruent with your beliefs. The reason you're not where you want to be is because you aren't the person that's supposed to be there right now. And you are where you are right now because you're the type of person that will be in that environment. So if you hate where you are right now, hate your beliefs that you have right now and fix them so that they can be congruent with the person that has the things you want to have, that does the things that they do. So you can achieve the things you want to achieve. I didn't create this. I first heard about this from Myron Golden. I've read the Bible as well to kind of just confirm these things, and I see it in my own life. And I wanted to put my own spin on it with identity being the aggregate of your beliefs and actions and how to change your identity. Because it's easy for people to say, this is what I did, right? And it's easy for us to try and grind and hustle to do the things they did. But the true way to go about it and the best way to go about it is to become the person that will do those things so that you just flow like water, right? A tree yields fruit by being a tree. So the best way for you to be able to yield that amount of money is by being someone that yields that amount of money. So your identity, guys. But that's the video. Hopefully you guys got something from this. I know I did just by talking about these things. I kind of preached back to myself. These are the things I have to do. I'm not perfect, guys. I'm still grinding. I'm still hustling, but I'm trying to change my beliefs and my actions to where I just flow, guys. And I felt like creating this video is me flowing. If you have any opinions about the video, feel free to drop any comments below, any likes. I'm not sure if anyone's going to even watch this video, but this was me just flowing, guys. I feel natural just speaking about these things to you guys, and I hope that you guys can join me on our journey, or my journey to getting to the top, guys. And peace and love. I love you guys. You guys are beautiful, and I'm out. Yeah.